This week's reading was called Wrestling Whiteness: Three Stages of Shifting Multicultural Perspectives Among White Pre-Service Teachers by Valerie Hill Jackson. The first thing I found interesting was actually in the beginning, before she even got into the heart of what this article was about, when she was talking about how pre-service teachers, primarily white and middle class, are mandated to take multicultural courses and grapple with recognizing their own cultural beings and the cultural realities of others. While student populations grow more diverse, the pre-service teacher population is becoming more homogenous. And I thought this was really interesting and really important to think about because it is very true. As a pre-service teacher who is studying specifically for the Urban Educators Cohort Program, being in very diverse areas, it can seem very challenging and difficult to try to deal with it while I identify as a white middle-class female, and that can cause some tension in the classroom sometimes. And I just think it's important to acknowledge the fact that it is different and there will be differences going into that in the beginning. And I also really liked what she said about the three stages. So the first stage is the unconscious stage, where you just are blinded or unaware of the multiple realities of other racial groups' experiences. And I definitely feel that I was that way coming into college, before being in the UACP or taking any classes about diversity. I think that I was aware of the fact that I was white and that other people were of different races and different ethnicities, but I didn't really experience their realities or see the realities and the struggles and oppression that different racial and ethnic groups can go through on a daily basis. And then I found it interesting because I felt that I kind of moved to the responsive stage. So as part of being in the UACP, just like normal education students, we take a lot of classes about diversity, but a lot of the classes we do take are geared more towards urban-infused areas, so more diverse areas in general compared to maybe a suburban area. And this is where maybe not they're aware of other cultures, but maybe not fully accepting it as it relates to their knowledge of other cultures that they've gotten. I feel that this is important because I felt like, especially when I first came to college and I started taking TE 250, I was like head over heels about diversity and getting to know all of the different things pertaining to diversity and learning about the struggles and the oppression that everyone faced, but I wasn't necessarily trying to do anything to help fix it. I just really wanted to learn about it. Hill Jackson said that this is the most treacherous stage because white pre-service teachers may retreat because their worlds and their comfort zones have been unsettled. I honestly feel that I still am in this stage because there are some times where I'm very comfortable talking about it and talking about whiteness and white privilege and the social construction of whiteness. And I really want to tackle it and help fix it. But then on the other side, I just don't really know what to do. So I kind of retreat and I'm like, well, maybe I can't change it. I can just have all the knowledge about it and like teach others so they can change it. But I'm not necessarily the one that can be changing it per se. And this was actually the thoughts of many pre-service teachers that they found through the study, and that a lot of teachers didn't see the need to be taking these courses and things like that because they didn't feel that they could make a change and that they could make a difference in diverse areas. And it reminded me of the first week of class when you had asked if we felt that Michigan State shoved diversity down our throats. And I found it interesting, the differences among my classmates, because some people did feel that way, but then I didn't. I didn't feel that it was being shoved down my throat, but I think that's also because I made the conscious decision to be in the Urban Educators Cohort Program, so I was making the decision to learn about more diverse people and topics and things pertaining to diversity in urban settings versus my students. I can see where some people think that it is seeming like shoving down the throat, but at the same time, schools are becoming very diverse, especially with all the immigration that we have here in America and many people from all over the world coming here to receive an education or just to live, to have a different life. It's important to realize that there will be diversity wherever we go, and going to a suburban school doesn't mean that we are removed from diversity or that we'll never have to experience it or figure out how to best teach it to our students. I think it's an important concept that needs to be taught in all classes and in all schools, so we can all help to fix it one person at a time.